Okay, moving on. During the strike period, the issue of mold and other possible toxins in school buildings was raised by several community members and workers. Superintendent Arthur, can you explain to us what steps the district has taken to ensure our children and workers are safe from mold and any other toxins in school buildings?
Well, there are a couple things that happen every year. We have an annual inspection from the Regional Office of Education. They come in and they inspect every building. And if there are anything that looks out of place, they're going to let us know. We've got to correct it in a certain amount of time. The other thing is we have insurance inspections, and those are even more specific, and the fire marshal comes in. So we can never, I would never ask kids or teachers to go into a building that I thought was unsafe. Now, do we have some that are in poorer condition than others? Absolutely. But that's what our master facility plan is trying to take care of. And for example, Silas Wheeler is a great building, but it's an old building. And building a new one is our mark to try and update our facilities, and we're very proud of that. And hopefully we can continue that, but obviously funding is an issue.
Okay, thank you. And does the GA want to respond to that? And Emily, before you do that, let me just say that while the strike was going on, I personally was told the teachers had to, not by you, but I was personally told the teachers had to walk into buildings and scrub down chalkboards and desks of mold before they could start their first day of school every year. Now, please respond to that, because if that's correct, then that's absurd. And if it's not correct, then we'd like to know it.
I would first like to say that I have been in several of the buildings in the district and personally have seen the mold in the buildings. I do have pictures from teachers that was given to me of mold in the buildings. I do believe there is an issue with that in the district. I also know on the other side of that it does take financing to get those problems fixed, and you can't fix them overnight. I work in a building, I work at Lombard Middle School, and the remodeling has been done there, and I would say that it is in very good shape now. Prior to that, there was a very serious mold problem, but to the best of my knowledge, it has been taken care of. I am hoping that the district does move forward to make that a priority, because it is a safety concern that we have for our educators and for our students, and I really do hope that that can be something that's put at the top of the priority list.
I just want to say that although I have not had a report recently of teachers having to scrape mold off their desks, that has been reported to me in the past, that with the humidity in the building, I'm speaking about the high school, that they have had to come in and scrape mold off their desks before working.
Now, I really can't imagine scraping mold. And I'm wondering, are we sure it's mold, or could it be dust, or some other? No. Is it green, black, red, what? Or do we know?
I don't know what color it was, but I know it wasn't dust.
Okay. So I'm really like everybody at this table, so if I get this way, please excuse me, okay? But I've got to say that if you're the GEA president and vice president, and you're representing your teachers, and you don't know what color mold we're talking about, how is that?
I think I can answer that if you don't
Okay.
mind. The mold that has been in most of the buildings mostly is black in color, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's black mold. There's a misunderstanding sometimes that just because a mold is black that it's the dangerous black mold. And in this instance, I couldn't say that it's black mold. But the mold that was at my room in particular was black mold. And they did take care of the problem immediately when it was pointed out and discovered. 2 years ago, at the first day of school, before students came in, teachers had to attend, and my room was covered in mold. The windows, the desktops, the floor was covered in mold. The custodial staff did an excellent job. They came in, they completely cleaned the room. The mold came back within a few months later, and once again they
And so again, for the school district, on your behalf, you're saying that you've had this tested, every single building. There's some pretty big buildings, so each floor, each quadrant of the buildings have been tested, and our children and our workers are safe. Is that correct?
Absolutely, but understand, in Illinois, things can change. Mold is something that comes from high humidity, and in the summertime it's worse. And so, as long as if we are notified of it, we take care of it right away. And in fact, I can tell you that we had an issue at Silas. A teacher reported it. I went in. It was right after I started as superintendent. We moved that teacher and her kids out of that classroom into another building until we got the issue resolved. So I want everybody to know that in no way would I ever ask anybody to teach or learn in a building that was unsafe.
Okay. Thank you.